special. Absolute dynamite. Oh my goodness.
All we do is stare.
Andrew McCART, IFL TV, in association with MTK Global. I'm here in beautiful Phoenix, Arizona. With me, I've got the miracle man himself, Danny Jacobs. At the press conference yesterday, you were 2 pounds over the limit. You've got a smile on your face. You're eating well. I take it you're enjoying life at super middleweight 168.
Hey man, life is blissful, man. I got no complaints whatsoever. The super middleweight's been treating me good.
I mean, talk to me about Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. I mean, it's a good name at 168 for yourself. I mean, what kind of performance can we expect as fans on Friday night?
Well, I think you can, as far as my performance, I think you can expect a better version of me that you've been seeing in the last couple of fights. A very hydrated, very mentally focused, and just physically in shape guy who is not going to have any excuses. I'm going to go in there with a game plan. You're going to see more punches and bunches and just more of activity from me. I know a lot of fans have been disappointed in my last couple of performances. Even though I've been performing well, it hasn't been into my liking. And I feel like this is my coming out party. Moving up has been exceptionally well for me. Training camp has been amazing. I have no complaints whatsoever, and I'm looking forward to that just transferring over to the ring and me having a great performance.
You mentioned your last couple of performances have been maybe subpar, do you think? Do you think you stayed at 160 too long? Maybe a couple of fights too long?
I think it's kind of hard to say, but I just think just with the stipulations that were set in place with me as far as making the 60 limit and then having to succumb to the next day weigh-in and not being able to fully hydrate how I normally hydrate, I think those definitely played a factor in my performance. So moving forward, I just think that no excuses whatsoever now that we don't have second day weigh-ins or that I don't have to make the 60-pound limit. I think I'll be much stronger, I'll be much wiser, I'll definitely be a lot more stronger inside that ring. So I'm excited for it. I think the fans are going to be excited as well.
Well, Julio Cesar Chavez, right? He's obviously a big name, obviously with his dad and all that sort of stuff. Do you feel like now you're in the 168-pound division that you have to make a statement against somebody like Julio?
I think, you know what? And I do. I agree, I do. And I think I have to make a statement simply because of what Chavez has been giving the boxing world lately. I think a lot of fans are looking at him as someone who doesn't take the sport serious, and they're looking for me, now that I am coming up to middleweight division, to use him maybe somewhat of an example and to also showcase what I have and what I've been promising the fans all along. So I do think I need to make a statement. My main goal is to get the victory, but if I can look impressive and give these fans here in Phoenix a great show and people watching worldwide a good viewing, then I think for the near future, as far as me in the middleweight division, it looks very well.
168-pound division is some of the cracking champions. There's some great champions in the division. How does a two-weight world champion sound to you? Danny Jacobs, a two-weight world champion. How does that sound? When you hear that, how does that make you feel?
It makes me feel good and it motivates me. I think that's the biggest motivation factor, because not only am I at a new weight class, but I'm in there with some heavy hitters and I'm in there with some really good guys. So that also motivates me because I want to be considered the best no matter what weight class I'm in. And moving up to 168 pounds is no different. I think the Callum Smiths of the world, all the guys. I'm still having a hard time, remember the champions are.
Is one of them as well. So.
Right. So it's for me, I'm just trying to get acclimated. And I think Chavez is the perfect guy because he has the size. He may not have the skill set. We may not know what Chavez is going to show up. But I'm prepped for the best Chavez yet. And I'm prepped to make sure that I can give my very best. So the acclimation will come in due time. And I think that me being up against bigger guys will, for me, just motivate me because no one want to get hit by someone bigger.
Definitely, you've got to move your head a little bit more. You've got to be more skillful. I spoke to Freddie Roach earlier. He said that I said, what kind of fight are you expecting? He said, it's going to be a great fight. You've got Danny Jacobs, who's the boxer, Chavez, who's the fighter. I mean, do you agree with that, with the fans?
Well, I don't think that I'm just a boxer. I think
you can fight.
Yeah, I can come and I can press the forward and I can press the fight as well and press the action. So if they're expecting me just to box, I think they're mistaken because I have a large arsenal that I'm looking forward to displaying on full force come fight night.
You said you're getting acclimatised to the 160-pound division. You don't know who the champions are yet. Well, the names I mentioned too, coming from the UK, Billy Joe Saunders and Callum Smith.
Yeah.
I mean, you're just new to the division. But when you hear these names, would you come over to the UK to fight these champions?
I would love to come over. I won't. I don't. I mean, as far as like who I'd fight in the UK, I mean, obviously it makes sense to fight the world champions there, but it's always been a dream of mine to go over to the UK and to fight in general, whether it's for a world championship or it's just a regular fight. I would love that experience, but I feel like it's really up to my management and my team to set up exactly who we're going to fight, where we're going to fight, and things of that nature. But I would love to fight all of the guys that you just mentioned. Those are guys that are on my list as far as being able to prove myself to the world and to be considered one of the best. I have to get through those guys.
Callum Smith is here. He's young.
Yeah, I met him.
Have you met him?
I had a chance
big
to meet him.
middleweight.
He is a big guy, yeah.
Have you been sizing him up?
I mean, he's skinny, but he's still a tall guy.
Yeah.
So he's like Linky, you know. He's bigger than me, regardless of how you cut the cake. But for me, I just think that this is the perfect step in Chavez Jr. because Chavez is a heavy guy. I think he's more heavier than a lot of guys that we just mentioned as well. So this will be a really good test for me to measure myself against the best. But skill for skill, I definitely think I'm the best in the super middleweight division.
How many fights do you think, obviously being that you are a former world champion, two-time world champion down at 160, do you feel like you can maybe win against Chavez, your name could be right there as a potential opponent for these champions?
Well, I guess that also depends on my performance, you know, because I realized over the last couple of months with the promotion of this fight that people don't consider him to be one of the best or nearly close. So I think I have to make a statement in order to, because it was kind of early on in my career too. Like I didn't fight the who's of the who's. Obviously, he's coming back from cancer. I had to make sure I go up accordingly. But it was how I performed and it was how I got my victories that it was respected. So I think this is no different. I go in there with the mindset to win, but also to look impressive to get the respect from the fans.
Finally, before I let you go and probably enjoy some food because you're banging weight at 160.
Yes, sir.
There's 10,000 fans going to be at this arena on Friday night.
Yeah.
Packed house. Big arena. What can the fans expect from you?
Well, first off, I mean, I just got to give the credit to the fans for showing up. You know, Phoenix hasn't had a fight like this in this magnitude for some time, and I think I'm fortunate to be able to be the guy to headline and share the same ring with the guy with the legendary name. And I know his senior is going to be in the building as well.
And senior had his last fight in that arena.
Exactly. So it's historic, it's symbolic, and I think for me, it is very meaningful to go in there and give my very best because these fans are looking for a really great show and they're deserving of it.
Sorry, I did say last question, but Patrick Day, I've just seen you do the photo shoot there. You've got an absolutely beautiful robe.
Thank you.
With Patrick Day on the back and all that sort of stuff. Just, I know you're dedicating this fight to Patrick. Could just speak to me a little bit about Patrick and what he's meant.
Well, I mean, he's to me, he's the perfect role model as far as what a human being should be, you know. And he was a lot younger than I was, and I looked up to the kid, you know. Wow. He, in a sense, idolized me because of boxing and because the way I conducted myself, but little did he know the roles were reversed, you know, and the effects that he had on so many other people speaks volumes, because you won't meet one person that'll have anything negative to say about Patrick. In fact, it would be the contrary, you know. He was an angel. He was a star of light, you know. He was, everywhere he went, you know, he brought a light and then a positivity to that room. So I just want to be able to make sure his legacy and do my part to make sure that his legacy is continued, even though he already laid his foundation.
Of course.
But I know what I meant to him, so I know what this means. In order for me to continue doing what I'm doing, I know that this would mean something very well to his memory, to his family, because everyone knows, and it's just, for me, it's like everyone knows like what I meant to Patrick, you know. And I just don't think people understood what he meant to me. So I think in doing so and honoring him, I think that is my part in doing so, because I didn't have a chance really to tell him in person exactly through and through how much he meant to me and just how he had that effect on me. I mean, I can tell you something right now quickly.
Of course,
you know, I remember accepting him on Facebook, and you know, there'll be times where, you know, you might want to vent on certain things on Facebook, and you'll want to say certain things that necessarily will just be in that moment, but you don't want to do. But I always remember that Patrick Day will always be, you know, watching and be looking, and you know, he always had the utmost respect for me. So I made sure that, like, I didn't do those things. I didn't say the things that I wanted to say, and I led by example because I knew that it was guys like him that was looking up to me. And I think that was a big lesson for me and for people in general, because you know, we don't really understand the magnitude that we have on people. And I think if we take a step back and just to look at the people who are watching our every move, I think we'll live a better life, we'll make better and wiser decisions, and we'll lead in love. And that's exactly who Patrick was. So he checked me a couple times, not even knowing he checked me, you know, because I just had the utmost respect for the kid, because he was like an angel, man. I'm telling you, he was a great kid.
Well, that's beautifully said, Danny. Well, I won't keep you much longer. Like I said, you're probably going to go up and get some steak and fries.
Yeah. Not steak and fries, but I'll definitely be eating.
Good stuff. I won't keep you much longer. Thanks for this Fight Pro TV, and I'll see you tomorrow at the weigh-in. Thank you, Danny.
Is special. Absolute dynamite.